Keith, this is a morning show, and if you were going to take your eggs, I would take them scrambled because that's how a lot of the cards and the races look throughout the weekend going on here in Maryland racing.
I prefer my eggs scrambled.
You do?
Yeah,
That works out.
I could go for a nice little bacon, egg, and cheese, scrambled eggs on a bagel right now. I'm starving. So,
So
no.
am I.
But
Yeah.
it's Friday. It's Lent for me. So I might have to abide by the rules. So we'll see.
Oh, you following rules. How about
That doesn't happen too often, does it?
No.
No.
I'm glad we got this
Yeah.
on recording there. Let's go take a look ahead and see what we've got going on outside for this track. A little bit of a, excuse me, flash storm that we had here last night. Keith, I know you're a bit north. Did you get it at all?
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
We did. We got definitely some thunder and some lightning. It was kind of crazy this time of year getting that. But, yeah, right now, I mean, the track, I'd seen it opened up a little bit earlier. I mean, you would call it fast, so fast and sealed right now. And we'll keep you apprised of the situation. But, yeah, comfortable day all in all. I think these showers are going to get out of here, get out of this region. We've got a couple good days coming up for Saturday and Sunday weather-wise.
That we do, and some nice stakes coming up in the Miracle Wood and the wide country. But let's go ahead and focus on Friday's card. Let's start this early pick 5 in this maiden claiming 20,000, going a mile on the dirt for these girls 4 and 5. Scratch on the rail, Little Baby Girl. Keith, you have the number 3 Marley's Ghost, Corrales Torrealba here again today.
Yeah, Little Baby Girl, boy, she looked like the speed in this race. She's out, so it's kind of like, how is this race going to go? Maybe Princess Lena, who's kind of been working well at Farrell, fresh new face, goes. But Marley's Ghost, January 27th, we've talked a little bit ad nauseum. We're going to keep talking about that day, though. Horses off of that track where the inside was superior, caught 4 to 6 wide, first off the claim and a little bump up, but didn't really run terribly. A slight little fade. I think with Torrealba, yeah, this horse could definitely go right to the front and control it. If not, if the 2 just inside decides to go, can prompt and get this done. I guess the horse, you're looking at maybe that best finish, final jump, your top selection outside with heavy into leader Tim Keefe, who's just going great guns right now. Last couple months on the dirt. We got another stat later with Ian Forrest Boyce, but 6 for 17 with the maiden claimers, 35% with a whopping ROI of 10.27.
10.27. There we have it for those maiden claimers with Tim Keith. Keith Fusel giving us the right kind of stats here. Of course, that one took the inside rail.
Yes.
You mentioned that on that day the track was a bit better in that placement.
Yeah, she looks like she'll just kind of churn on. A comment I like to use in the short comment you'll see in here, just a grinding type. Both sibs are winners. Half the Badger Tooth, who did win 3 times going long, bred by Randy Ridgely. The Ridgely boys, they do a good job. Smaller operation, but they produce winners. So 3-6-2-5 for me. You're right there, 6 and 3 in the opener. The question mark horse is this 2 here, Princess Lena with Chavez.
It's exactly. We're going to see if that one just pops up out of nowhere or if that one will be aligned with our 3, 6, and 2. Okay. There we have it. Keith Fusel, you go with a early pick 4 in race number 2.
Yeah, we do.
Let's go ahead and take a look at that first leg and onward.
Yeah, it's a pretty cheap ticket. I think it's $18 today. Yeah, 3 deep to get you started. A couple scratches out of race 2. Take out the 3 and the 4. Succeed in Prince Fires. They were going to be longer shots in today's second. Race 3 with the 2 and the 5. Buck and Lucky picked up a little trouble. Added that to the note off of that one's last race. Race 4, 1, 3, and 5. Big scratch out of the 4. That 4 horse, What's Your Big Idea, was going to take a slew of play for Kieran and Helen Marshall. Wrap it up with 2 runners there in race 5, the 7 Duella Dent and the 8 Hot Dance, $18 ticket.
There we have it, $18. Let's start the first leg in this claiming 20,000 or claiming 16,000 for the 4-year-olds and up, which have never won it. 2 going 3/4 of a mile on the dirt. Scratch in the 3, scratch in the 4. Keith, you and I both go with the number 7 Guapo Ness on the outside. Jamie Ness, Jamie Rodriguez, they took it to the lead last time. First win and didn't look back.
Third off of a longer break. Ness, 22% the last few years with these last out maiden winners. You don't see maiden winners come right back and win a lot. I mean, I'm going to try it here. I like the draw. I like kind of the improvement I've seen with this one, the Lasix going on. I think Guapo-ness with the break can prompt the issue of Casino Tricks maybe going, and Katie's Notion, who flashed speed last time early, led like the first 16th of a mile, dropped back and came again. Guapo-ness, a like, not a love. I do like Katie's Notion, third off of a little break as well out of that Battle of Bastogne race. It was an interesting trip. It'll be interesting to see what this guy does if he goes forward. I think he has the ability to do that if he wants to, but I like the willingness. Horse got in some trouble, definitely. We've got video of Handon Lane out of that race on February 4th with Battle of Bastogne, Rennie, Katie's Notion. Watch this one around the turn. Like she was kind of loaded with horse all the way around the turn, inside, waiting. And on a day maybe where the inside wasn't the actual greatest as well. We have a slight tinge outside of that day. I like the way this one altered course and kept on with effort despite the trouble, despite being against the grain of the racetrack. So Handon Lane with some positional speed inside can stay the trip here for Nancy Heil.
I like that. 7-6-1-2 for Keith Fusel in his first leg of the early pick four. His second leg, race number 3, is going to be a maiden claiming 12.5, going at mile and 16, 2 turns on the dirt. For these 3-year-old fillies, you go with the number 2, Buckin' Lucky here from Mario Saray Jr. now in the barn with Angel Cruz Stays On.
Holds the level off the claim. She's able to do that. I thought maybe this horse might not be eligible, but you can go up to 25%. This horse was claimed for 10, and I didn't pick that up. So my girl Kayla Reeder, she said, no, it's okay. So I'm going to go with that. And Buckin' Lucky, going back and watch that video, I revised the comment on this horse the other day before we got it in, before the odds came out. Definitely had issues. A brush at the break, we caught that. But this horse had a couple steadying moments within the first eighth of a mile. Had to then rush up in between. Wasn't a real comfortable go. Draws inside at this 2 turns. Looking at the speed, yeah, RB's big moments got a little bit, but I tell you what, all systems go inside with Buckin' Lucky today. Cruise right back.
And you also go with the number 5 underneath, as you mentioned, in Bacall. This is in the barn of TJ Aguirre. I liked what I saw in that effort, routing for the second time here.
There's February the 4th again, was just up there talking about that day, the way the track played with Dave, with Rodman. Inside, shifted out a little bit, churned on, second Lasix, second time barn change. This one can get the mile and a 16th for this group. I think it's going to work. I think she's the one that's going to bring the best finish in here.
2-5-1-7 for Keith Fusel there in the second leg of his early pick four in race number 3. Third leg is race number 4, going a mile on the dirt for the fillies 4 and up. In this claiming 40,000. Also starts the Rainbow Pick 6. Silly me, how could we forget the Rainbow Pick 6? That pool hit earlier in last weekend. So we'll see what we got going on here for today. 2 singles. I take advantage of the scratch in race number 5. So I go ahead and throw the single on the 11. Outside speed might help today, and I single in on the 7 in race number 8, but 3 deep in races 4, 6, and 7. 2 deep in races 9. You might want to go another 1 deep in race number 9 just for fun. Maybe in number 6 as well. It's a little bit of a scramble, but a $10.80 ticket for this Rainbow Pick 6. As I mentioned, a claiming 40,000. This is a good race leg to start this Rainbow Pick 6 for the girls 4 and up, which have never won 2. A mile on the dirt, scratch in the 4. What's your big idea? Big enough, as you mentioned, that's a big scratch. So you and I end up still landing on the number 5. I Can Do It. Bobby Gambert, Gene Brasino, always giving us some prices. Let's take a look back from that effort last time out on the 17th of December.
Yeah, 17th, going back. And this one was listed as a vet scratch on the 28th of January in an allowance race. A little tougher. I like you going for a little value here. I didn't think you would have this one or anybody. I thought I had a little sleeper here with I Can Do It. Hopefully we can keep our odds in that 6 to 8 to 1 range, but this was good. She's got some races back on her page. She was DQ'd out of a race purse money back in January of 23, beating a horse like Barzina. We've seen her go up and run against better, be competitive. Switches over here a little bit late to get the late switch of leads, and I thought through the wire looked very eager. Golden Charm has a habit running second, right? A lot of second. But has stepped up and has improved numbers. I think this was a sneaky horse. I was hoping the 4 stayed in to help the speed because I don't know who's going to challenge Major Houlihan now. This one just kind of burst away from the field last time. I think she'll settle a little bit better today. Maybe Mrs. Mazel, but why not? We've got a barn here. Gambert going to strike at a price and a rider. Couple wins the other day, right, on Saturday. We know can trip out on a horse. I Can Do It, a little price shot here in the 4th. The mile, looking at the breeding, there's a little bit there that says, okay, she can get the distance.
There we go. You also go with the number 3 to the inside. Synergy's Electra, just hoping for a better outcome last time out. Kenny Cox, I don't have an excuse for that effort last time out.
Nope. I went back and looked, Callie. I didn't see anything. I'm like, okay, show me something. You must have steadied. Nothing. Just completely outrun. The internals, a little pedestrian like early that first quarter. Maybe she just didn't get a chance up in front of her, but she should have ramped up even a little bit better.
Right.
Should have run. They kind of, no big drop here. You know, she's getting back to the 2 in life. She faced a bunch of winners there. Liquidators won like 7 or 8. Yeah, a mile. You go back on her page, she can get the distance. Second time, she's been second, I think, all 3 tries at this 42 in life. Again, hoping some of that speed would have stayed in with the 4, but I think she can kind of steadily progress to make an impact here today for Kenny Cox.
Very, very interesting. You mentioned Major Houlihan going to be cutting back a little bit. We'll see if they can hold off on that 2 turns to the 1 turn. Going to be interesting how they take that. But the number 7 Gun Run and Gal, Claudia Gonzalez, second after the claim for Gina Aguilar, comes off of that jump from that 20 to the allowance level, Keith.
Yeah, a little tougher last time out. No terrible excuse. Maybe you could say it was a sloppy sealed track. Second off the claim, back to a more realistic spot here. I mean, she can stay the trip. She'll track. My question with her, making the move to sustain it, you know, through that longer stretch run. 5-3-1-7. A couple little shots of some prices in the 4th.
I Can Do It being his top selection, and I have underneath there in race number 4. Race number 5 starts off the late pick 5 and a maiden claiming 45. For the 5.5 on the dirt, a lot of 5s in there. For the 3-year-old fillies, scratch the 5, 6, and 9, and 10.
Yeah.
Keith, you have the number 7 on top. Dula Dent here in the barn of Jamie Ness. Jamie Rodriguez, we do not have a stat. This is not the stat. We're not the stat yet, but I know stats coming on Tim Keith.
I was going to use this stat, but I've had a couple Ness stats, but we'll tell you the stat that I've got. Last 3 years on the dirt, 6 for 10. Doing math at 60%. 8 for 10 in the money.
Good
Maiden
job.
claimers first off the claim and a bump up of 50% in the tag.
There we have
That
it.
is strong. 406 ROI. The 2 back race back 40s come back to win it a couple in a row. A good buyer off of that last or the 2 back win. Dwella Dent ran well against the grain of the racetrack. I think she's going to break well, take it to destination. We can go to the video of your top selection destination if you like.
Sure.
Yeah.
You still going back to that run with destination, of course, from that effort last time out at the 45. So just knocking on the door.
Yeah, knocking on the door. Unfortunately, again, she ran into a Brittany Russell firster. First time out, it was Hart. Now it's Country Club Couple at a price. That was a little surprising to see. Number really dropped, 61 buyer to 37. I really don't know what to make of that, but we got a little double whammy coming back for the 3rd try. Blinkers on, Lasix on, clear outside run. I think, again, we'll be thrust into the race. We'll have to deal with Dwella Dent, I believe, up on the front end.
So there we have it. I just wanted to note that you had a great, getting back to Dwella Dent, you had a great ROI stat last week on Jamie Ness. That was about a $10, I think it was $10.20 in ROI. But
that was Canoodle. Yeah.
There we have it, yes. So still for a $4 Jamie Ness ROI, that's still something to say. So click the back 10 seconds a couple of times to re-get that stat from Keith Fustel on Jamie Ness. You also go with the number 8 Hot Dance for Mike Trombetta. Andreas Chavez, of course, takes the call with this one. Not a disrespectful effort last time out.
No, acclaiming. You're wondering, down the road from a breeding standpoint, Ghost Sap or Vision Mare, you're wondering. She took to the main track just fine. Renee 6, a little just a little too good that day, but can make an impact. Obviously, we know there's speed in this race. She'll target that. Trombetta Barnett doesn't claim a slew of horses.
Right.
On a little bump up, a little protect move to rally into it. Yes, I think she's going to be tough. We talked about destination, going to be for it. Hateful, the 3-horse. Another one Robin and I were talking about. Sneaky little long shot here, Corrales. Just didn't fire at all after some trouble around the 3/8 pole. Okay, this horse has races to go back on. Reunited with Arojo. I think this one is another one can rally into it. We got 15-1 morning line. I like the price here on Hateful.
You like it a lot there in the 7, 8, 11, 3 in race number 5. Jackpot Super High 5 races race number 6. Also starts the late pick 4 in this claiming 8,000 going at 7 furlongs on the dirt. Actually, before we get to that race, we're going to go to a commercial real quick. Right. Silly me. It's Friday.
Thoroughbred
Let's get back
racing
to
is
work.
taking vital steps to make our sport safer. These include the use of independent veterinarians, strict anti-doping and medication controls, and a single national authority empowered to create uniform standards and enforce reforms. With each step, more data is gathered, accountability demanded, and progress made as safety takes the lead. Visit ntra.com/safety for more.
Well, sorry about that. I had a weird. It was a weird week for me, Keith. I wasn't.
Okay.
Yeah, just funky week. Let's just get back into the swing of things, though. Here in this jackpot super high 5 race, also starts the late pick 4 in this claiming 8,000 for the girls 4 and up 7 furlongs on the dirt. Scratch in the 3, scratch in the 12. You and I both still land on the rail horse. Out dancing, Jamie S. Jamie Rodriguez. 3-1 morning line.
You weren't out dancing, and that led to some crazy stuff or anything like that for the week.
No dancing. That's next weekend.
That's next. Oh, cool. All right, very good. Third off of a break, out dancing, off of a win. Third time for the barn. There's a lot to like here with this Nest runner, and here's another Nest stat that I've got for you.
There we have it.
Last 3 years on the dirt, 6 for 12, 9 for 12 in the money with the fillies and mares. Last out wins and third off of a break. So any way you want to slice it, 356 ROI. It's hard to, with Netcher, they go, oh, where are you going to get? He wins at such a high clip. You're getting some gaudy ROIs for this one. But I don't blame her. She's had issues out of the gate. I don't blame her for her last one. I watched it again. They put her in the gate. She was wasn't terribly fidgety, just kind of moving her head ever so slightly. I believe it was to the left. Gate sprung. She just wasn't tied on, and I just don't think she was ready. If they'd have had her straight, she'd have broke, because she recovered pretty quickly to go get the lead and control things. Switch leads, I think maybe a couple times in the lane, but was dead game, or wandered about a couple times through the stretch. Was really game to the wire. I don't know if she's quite as fast. You go back on her page, she's got some serious speed to prompt. There's a couple horses like Thunder Buggy that loves the 7/8 that might just go ahead and go. But I think if she kind of escapes the first eighth of a mile unscathed, I think she can get in a stalking position to wear down the speeds in here. Tweet Away Robin, the same thing. Another mare that's had some issues in the past coming out of the gate. Past two, she's been getting a little bit better. A little
Trusting her a little
hole
bit
here.
more.
I think I can. And her consistency of late at this level works for me. She stays the trip. I don't think it's going to be a wicked pace. So she likes to relax. She can kind of steadily progress. Maybe not as sharp as what she used to, but she'll get the target of Thunder Buggy. But Thunder Buggy's interesting. She loves 7/8. Maldonado has been running a ton of horses, but they've been running well.
They have.
So Victor Carrasco will take it to this field early with Thunder Buggy. 1-5-9-2. Ice Cube Baby, a little intriguing horse from off the pace. I just think she's better than last. Step slow, use 4 wide. That's not her game. She needs to settle off the pace and have a target. I think the 2 and the 7. This is a little bit of a spread race with me, kind of using the 1 and the 5.
Absolutely.
But you're looking for value. I think Breezy Connection, you still might get an okay price on her. The 2 and the 7 would be those other underneath horses I could use.
There we have it. 1-5-9-2. Maybe go a touch wider in this race if you can in this proper jackpot super high 5 race. In race number 7, a restricted allowance going 7 furlongs on the dirt for the 4-year-olds and up. Scratch in the 5, the 6, and the 8. Keith, let's get to that stat. The stat man, Keith. Great heavens, Tim Keith, Forrest Voice. $12 and 91 cents.
If you've been paying attention at all the last couple months at Laurel, Tim Keith has been on fire. This combo, jockey trainer combo, look at that. 7 for 14, 11 for 14 in the money with Art, $12.91. Better than the stock market, I can tell you that, right?
$13.
Woo.
Talk about it. Listen,
That is strong.
I equate horse racing to stock market a little bit. It's very comparable, but again, you have to. Great heavens, very much deservedly so. Deserves that 5-2 morning line. I won't be surprised if it's a touch lower, but comes off of just really, really nice, strong efforts in those last 2 starts.
Yeah, he catches a horse that's been really sharp. But Great Heavens last time, he was a little sluggish, a little lethargic out of the gate. But what did Forrest do? Didn't panic. Patented move, got down to the inside. Showed a pretty good acceleration to get into contention. Arden's lucky to be just too good that day. An 89 buyer that he put up on the board. 3/4 and 10. We're out another furlong. I think this might be the top distance for this one. 6 is probably a little bit better for him for his sharpness of a run. I think he can kind of progress. I'm just worried if he's going to get the help that he needs with Full Irish up on the front end. Now, Full Irish is interesting. Your top selection, we can show video. Winner last time out on the 14th. A good inside day. Was able to set the pace, popped out of there, very quick internals. 21-3, 44-4. We're going to see this one sharp out of the gate that particular afternoon. That's rolling.
Bye-bye.
on the front end. Yeah. Now we got to go 7, so we kind of maybe throttle things down a little bit. But you look at his weight; he's won at 7. He was down inside, did it on that maiden special weight score. I don't have a work here recently. That's the only. It's been what, a little over a month.
Sure. Sometimes Lacey's not afraid to let him go a little bit in the morning, so that is, and not let him go, but gallop strong.
Okay.
For the most part, and I don't know behind the scenes of what's going on there as far as how this horse goes. It gets on in the morning, so that would be my only guess. I know Oxide is like that in the mornings. Oxide can be very strong in the morning, so if you don't get works on him, don't be alarmed. A Chestnut Gelding, I'm really not surprised it would go the same way.
I'm just looking for a little hitch to get maybe get myself a little bit better price. But he's been really, really good, as is the barn. And the horses look good. They're running strong. He's the horse to beat. The road is going to go through the 3 full Irish. If anybody kind of goes after him early, maybe a fresh Heaven's Got Fire, Rum Jar's got a little turn of foot to go into it. I think Captain Quint is interesting. You've got this one in the mix for Mikey Gorham trying to get back on track. Bump start. Altered 3/16 off of a break, a little longer break, and going a mile, turning back in a distance. He's 2 for 3 with a second. He and the 3 have already won an allowance race. That's key for me, in, showing that ability. Now gets the state bred, state sired. The return should have him set up at a big number.
He's a little bit more one-paced on paper than what you would think, so that's something I like about him as well. Rumjar, you mentioned, could just be an early assault onto a full Irish, as you mentioned, for Claudio Gonzalez.
He's scary because he's got that 87 staring you right in the face on a fast track on 1.70 miles. That is 2 turns. He's got an okay try at 7/8. He's got a turn of foot, but I don't think, you're right, I don't think anybody can kind of go with full Irish through the first 3/8 of a mile. If you do, you could seriously, be hurting your chances for the victory in race 7. 4-2-3-10. There you go.
Interesting race in that restricted allowance. Race number 8 is an allowance optional 55, 5.5 on the dirt. Big scratch in the 4, Keith, on the Brother Conway.
Yeah.
We both had that horse in our top pick. So we go to Prince of Jericho, who you have to respect here for Brittany and Sheldon Russell.
I should have ramped up and got a video of Prince of Jericho. And I was looking back. It's like, he was like, took the spot of Post Time. Post Time went on that break. He's the other 3-year-old. And, man, you comparing his numbers and everything, pretty salty, and he's run against the right kind. Some of the speed does come out with Brother Conway. Looked at his works. Steady progression of works. Nothing glaring. I looked all the way back. It doesn't look like he's that kind of a horse in the morning. I'm sure they've got him prepped, ready. Is this the end game? 5.5? No. But things just might fall into place for him. He's got a big, strong run to make, similar to Post Time. Let's see if he makes the next jump like Post Time has.
My only worry is that, he came back off of that February-April break in the Tessio, and it didn't. And was it the distance that didn't hit him? I think it might have been geared towards that. But nonetheless, it's first off of a little bit of time off where he actually still ran pretty well. But you take a look. People are going to take a look at that 6th place and just be a bit off by it, coming first off of the layoff. I'm saying, hey, he actually ran better than what the form actually shows.
It goes in the chick line. We know there was trouble there. Rivets come back. He's won another stake. Damon's Mount is a winner of a grade 2.
Yep.
He certainly faced the right kind. You've got Exculpatory, still pretty quick. Hushin, quick. Retains, got some speed. So he should be able to just kind of sit back, watch everything develop. If he brings the kick that I've seen him bring, and he brings a little, like I said, I don't think this is the goal, but he just might be good enough off the break to get it done.
With the scratch, it just kind of falls into his lap a little bit. The number 2, Holy Synchronicity. Rudy Sanchez Solomon. Yomar Ortiz gets the call now. 15-1, Keith. Second
off a break, back on Lasix, yet turning way back to 5.5. Again, with Brother Conway was in here, I would have liked him even more. Okay. He has got some sprint races that definitely work. This barn has clicked route to sprint in the past at a good number, and I think an okay ROI. Why not take a shot here with Yomar and Rudy Sanchez Solomon to make that run off the pace? Is he going to, bring that run? I don't know, but these two could be interesting from the back of the pack if things really get contested, which I think they will.
There we have it. 7-2-3-8 for Keith Fusel there in race number 8. Our finale here on Friday is a claiming 5,000, 5.5 on the dirt, 4-year-olds and up. No scratches here, Keith. You and I go both with His Name is Sue. Let's take a look at last time out for Troy Robb and Alexander Crispin.
Yeah, claimed for 5, and he has run, good races. Done like third place, fourth place, okay, but he's tried hard. So the barn is done well, I think, and now it's time to get him back into the winner's circle. He's caught wide, makes a move. He's going to force that issue mid-turn into the lane. He went, 22-3, 45-3. No easy days. Gets it done. Struger, a Ness horse. It's been consistent and running strong numbers. Not away. This was a group. He's not facing that group. I don't think it's a thing where, hey, this horse is dropping and you look. This horse needs a spot to go get a win and get that confidence.
Yes.
And this certainly looks like the spot with Bernie's on fire, big ham bone, kind of setting the tone up front. He'll move into that. And I think you saw he was still trying the final 16th of a mile.
So no fault to him. It's just the spot that he needs to be for the present moment. Keith, let's talk about your rail horse, 8-1 right now, and pressing concern. David Mohan, Gina Vello, maybe giving us a price in the last race of the day.
Yeah, absolutely. A rider that's 7 for 21 recently. I'm not going to give up on that yet. A couple finishes that beating 26, beating 30 or whatever. You've got 2 faltered comments. Against much better full Irish No Easy Days race. This horse can make a run from off the pace. You'll see a patient ride from Evelyn. I don't think he wants to get involved with the 2 or the 3 early. Sit back, make a run, looking for that little value to spice things up because it looks like a 4-5, 5-4 looks like the 2 horses to beat. You toss it to him, but this is the one laying there at 8-1 on the morning line. If you need to get out kind of a horse to help you, I think that's the one.
There he is, 5-1-4-2 for Keith Fusel there in our picks here for the morning show. Let's dive into those again a little bit more as per usual into your best bet of the day. Starts in race number 5 on the number 7 Dula Dent, Jamie Ness, Jamie Rodriguez, 4-1 on the morning line.
I think the stat was 60%. So off of a wide on an inside day, really gave a good account of himself out of a key race, 2 races back. There's lots to like. Destination's going to take a slow play. Dula Dent will take play. I think he's ready to go right to the front. Mix it up if need be on the front end. I think she can keep on going. It's the filly.
It works.
There.
It works
there
in race number 5 for that distance for Dula Dent. Race number 8 is his value play on Holy Synchronicity for Rudy Sanchez Salmon and Yomar Ortiz.
Yeah, top selection there, Prince Jericho. Again, looking, it doesn't have to be a stone cold winner. Exacta Tri Supers to help your value. This is the one to pick up pieces late. Would not be a complete shock if he won it. But I think he can help you out, though, in those other wagers.
We have to talk about, of course, the retirement of Fille d'Esprit. We're taking a look at her 2022 Maryland Million Distaff win. But what else is there to say about this filly? 2022 Maryland Bred Horse of the Year, 6-time stakes winner. Of course, the decision, so she's going to be bred to Flightline for 2023. And so they were trying to make that happen. It wasn't happening. So they kind of just waited around to see if they could just get the right stallion hooked up. So they were gonna finish out this year and possibly run next year, but things kind of fell into place. So very excited to see what happens for those connections in the future.
Yeah, I mean she was a heck of a racehorse. I think in 2022 she made over 400,000.
Yes.
Just that year. She didn't just need to run here at Laurel. I think she won at Cologne. She won all over the place, and it was always fun watching Xavier Perez come to the wire the last 50. What's he going to do next? Highlighting. He was always pointing down.
It's something.
It's
something.
it's pretty funny.
I am
just hang on.
Yeah, I'm just a huge fan of the filly. She's, she had an issue where she ran out of the gate, hit her head. I'm pretty sure she had a concussion in the middle of that campaign. So just a lot happened for this filly, of course. But I could go on and on about this filly, but we are going to stop my fangirling, and we are going to go to Dave Rodman for some more changes and scratches here for Friday's card.
All right, good luck, everybody.